So in today's video, I want to share with you a journaling practice I recently engaged and the almost immediate impact it had upon me as an individual and the way that I think about the goals that I'm trying to accomplish. My name is Seth Yelorda, and I'm an organizational development leader, and I work with organizations and teams, really helping them achieve higher levels of performance. And I want to thank you for just taking the time to watch this video. And if this is your first time here, I'll be so honored if you would like and subscribe. So in the last couple of videos I posted, I've been talking about this idea of setting goals and pursuing goals and kind of like the psychology behind goal setting and some practical things that you can do to actually accomplish your goals. Well, just this last week, I was just sitting, in my morning devotion, thinking about my goals, and I decided to take out my journal. And what I actually did was I drew a line down one page of my journal. And on the left side of that page, or the left column, left side of that line, I started to write all of the things, the goals that I had, the things I wanted to accomplish that I felt like were possible for me to do. And so I just started writing them down, like in every area of my life, in every domain, the things that really kind of, I felt like, you know what, Seth, you can pretty much do this. Like, it's almost guaranteed you can do this. If you put forth the effort, I know you can do this. And so I wrote down all of the things on the left side that I felt like were possible. And then on the right side, I wrote down all of the things that I felt like were impossible for me to do. Now, this was like really interesting because as I was writing down, and there was really like a correlation between the things. So on the left column, I might have written down like, hey, I want to save $10,000. On the right column, I would have written down, I want to save $10 million, right? So yeah, it's very possible for me to save 10,000 and to save 10 million, maybe, right? Not likely, but we'll see. And so that's kind of how I did it. Like, just kind of for everything that I wrote down on the left side, on the right side, I wrote like the equivalent, if it was almost like 10x'd, or if in my mind, I just viewed it as impossible. And so I wrote down on the right side, all of those things that really felt impossible to me. And after I wrote it down, both columns were populated. I just stopped and I looked at this list. And I just really sat with this list and said to myself, Seth, what would it take for you to actually accomplish these right column items? Like, what would that take from you? What would it require of you? Who would you have to become? Like, the things that you wrote down, are they really impossible? I mean, maybe they're more improbable, but are they really impossible? And as I started to like really think about all of these things, it's almost as if they became closer and closer to what I actually felt like, no, Seth, you can probably actually do this if you put forth like gazelle intensity type of effort. Like, if you really want this and you really go after this, I'm pretty sure you can reach this goal. And what it did was it almost like humanized my impossible goals. I don't know if you've ever like seen a celebrity, or maybe someone like Denzel Washington, or, someone on the screen and you only know them from their movies, you only know them from the television shows. You've never seen them in person. And then you actually like bump into them in a restaurant and you look at them and it's like, wow, you're actually a real person. It was almost like it had that humanizing effect. It took my goals from being celebrity status and it made them like human status. And as I was doing this, it was just really a powerful exercise. And, I didn't hear this from somewhere. It was just something that I just kind of sat with and said, you know what, let me just go through this exercise. What are those goals that I really feel in my mind are borderline impossible for me to reach for whatever reason? Maybe it's because of my own limiting beliefs. Maybe it's because of my lack of network. Maybe it's because of, my lack of skill or training, or whatever it is, right? Like, let me just write down what these goals are and then just begin to sit with it. I would really want to encourage you to try a similar exercise like this. Take some time, quiet time, early in the morning, late at night, when you have no distractions, and on one side of the paper, write down all of the things that you want to accomplish throughout your life. It can even be considered a bucket list if you want to go down that road, which I believe in. Write down all of the things that you think are possible for you to do. Those things which most likely without much additional effort, you're probably going to accomplish these things. And then on the exact opposite column of that line, write down all of the things that you feel are impossible. the things that would take either a supernatural intervention or some random strike of luck for you to accomplish. Like, write down those things on the right side. And then what I want you to do, as I did, is I want you to sit with it. Don't try to figure out how you're going to accomplish it, but just sit with them and just start asking yourself, what type of person do I need to become? What would I have to do? Where would I have to move or go to actually accomplish these impossible goals? I promise you that just this exercise will start to bring those impossible goals out of the realm of impossibility, and it'll start to bring them into the realm of possibility. You see, one reason why our goals are impossible is because they stay up here. Like, in our minds, we just think about them, and our mind has a way of removing them from us and separating them from the realm of possibility. But when you actually write it down and you start to deconstruct this goal, it starts to feel less impossible, maybe a little bit more improbable, maybe even possible. I want to encourage you to do this, and I would love to know how this exercise impacted you, if it impacted you at all. If it had no impact, then please, in the comments, let me know. No impact whatsoever. But if it did have a positive impact, then please, in the comments, let me know, like, what type of positive impact did this goal have on you? And if you felt like this is something you would love to talk about, then please reach out to me through the comments or in a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and reach out. And I would love to maybe even jump on a Zoom with you and just kind of talk about how this exercise impacted you and what really of those impossible goals, like, how do you really see them now? And are they still impossible? Or maybe now they're not impossible, but maybe they're just improbable, which is a little step closer to possible. Maybe they're not even improbable. Maybe you see them now as possible. This is an excellent exercise to do, and I'm going to sit with this exercise a little more. I think when I get up and I do my devotion and my journaling every day, I'm going to sit with this list and just really kind of let it sit on me and kind of try on these impossible goals to see maybe I can actually do these things. And rather than living a life where I am constantly bringing my goals down to my reality, maybe we can live a life where we bring our reality up to our goals. I would love to hear from you on this. So please, if you take time to watch this video, please leave me a comment and let me know how this exercise impacted you. Thanks so much for listening. And again, I would love for you to like, to share, to subscribe if this is your first time here. Have a wonderful day.